lost in an endless maze. The emptiness had afforded just like a void, but you broke the coldness somehow and lit up a flame. And ooh, I was done feeling hopeless, screamed out loud because it felt impossible in my bones, like getting blood out of the stone on my own. But you came around and removed the thorn in my soul. You guided me
I'm bored of waiting for the countdown timer to end, so we'll start now, shall we? Assuming that it actually updates, because it hasn't on my screen. There we go. So I have done incredibly small amounts, so you will have to let me know if things like the game sound are completely off once we get into the game. Yeah, because I have no idea how to do this kind of thing, because I've never been able to do it before. So basically, I'm just going to load the game up and we'll have a look around. These are the menus. It looks very familiar, doesn't it? Oh, that was loud. I don't know if it picked up game sound or not. It is not picking up game sound. Okay. Good start. Nothing like a professional. Game audio. It should be. Let's try again. Here we go. So we should have game sound now as well once I get all my screens back in order. Yeah, we can look at Zalonga or we can look at any of them, to be honest. I've had like a 30-second look at Hutan Pantai. So yeah, I kind of want to look at Riverbend Springs actually. I like how the new start menu is. So I just very quickly look at that because it's quite configurable from the start. So we've got the same 3 new farm manager start from scratch. But what you can do is you can mess about with all of the starting stuff from the beginning. So you can change some of the basics, like whether you, I don't know if this gives you a starter farm or whether it puts it on the map or not. But you can mess around with your starting money and stuff, which I think is quite cool. Afternoon, Mr. Casa. So we'll chuck in a bit of money. I don't know if adding the loan gives you more money or not. Let's try that. We'll have the starter farm on. We won't have a guided tour. And we'll hit go. And we'll see what things look like. And we'll just have a bit of a explore of the game. I'm sure a bunch of you have been watching stuff for the last hour and a half anyway. I had to wait until midday to be able to download the game. And the download wasn't too bad actually. I started to download at midday, went and got lunch, came back upstairs, the download had finished, installed the game, had to do a quick game update, and yeah, I've then been faffing getting some things set up so that I could show it off nicely. Yeah, and I think FSG is streaming at the moment, VF is streaming, Mr. CDP is streaming, so the fact that there's even a few of you here is really cool. And I know a whole load of FS25 content has been dumped onto YouTube and things. So yeah, let's very quickly sort that out. And then we will carry on. Go. Confirm. Confirm. So for bronze partners, we got access to everything at midday. I think most or all of the silver partners and above got the press package, which you saw them showing off. So yeah. Mr. Haythornthwaite, how are you doing? So yeah, we're on Riverbend Springs. It looks like, have we got, so Peaky opens the garage. I'm just assuming all of the buttons work. Packs, used vehicles, other. So where do we see what we own? I guess is a good question. Or maybe we own nothing. Cool, Chris. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I wanted to stream on YouTube is that I could stream at 1440p. Maybe we own nothing. Is that our trailer? So this is the first time loading this map. So it may be a little bit laggy while everything loads in. 4th tab. Other vehicles. Good spot monarchs. So we have a Challenger tractor. You might hear Rumour in the background. He's just kind of waking up. And because we started a new farmer, didn't we? So we'll start with a nice old John Deere. Cool. I guess we've got some land as well. So I'm literally so rather than pressing the X keys, crop types, growth, soil composition, hotspots, farmland. Okay, so this tells us our farmland, and then we just click and okay, it's returned to buy. So that's a bit of a change. So I'll try and keep an eye on chat as well. So that's changed slightly. So that's the worker menu. Okay. Growth calendar. So we've got winter wheat, barley, and canola. Spring oat. So it's a lot like the growth calendar from last time, I guess. I'm going to be jumping around all over the place. Sorry, because I have not done anything in here. So animal menu. Oh, we've got some cows. Okay, we'll go and have a look at those. Contracts. So we've got removing dead wood, fertilizing, and wood transport. Okay. Do we own all those productions at the start, or is that just... Oh, no, it's ones we can buy. Okay, fair enough. And settings. Okay. We have a boat. Didn't realize we would have a boat. So, yeah, I think the HUD looks quite clean. We've got a torch that you can see. Okay. How's vehicle volume for folks? It's a tad loud for me, but I don't know if I can adjust that or not. I think I can. Yep, I can adjust it for me without adjusting it for you. So let me know how the game volume is. I can just do a little nudge down. How's that? And then, because there's not many of you here, I'm quite happy for you guys to just kind of shout at what you fancy looking at. Okay, the enter key doesn't let me turn the vehicle off. That's interesting. Oh, because we're on newbie settings, aren't we? So, can we go visit the cow pasture? Let's see if we can find the cow pasture. Tag visit. So, they have meadow because they're grazing. We can have a look through the garage in a bit. Okay, I can adjust the volume as we need it. So, I'm someone who likes the game volume quite quiet. We might get a dog drinking noise in a moment as well. I don't know if you'll be able to hear that or not. Let me know if that's annoying. So the cows have got meadow, I guess, because they're in a pasture. I'm going to have a look at the cow models. Sorry, it's like I'm like a kid in a candy store. I don't know what to look at first. They don't look too bad, do they? Can we buy some baby cows? Sorry, I'm going to buy some baby cows. If I was an organised person, I would have planned all of this stuff, but... so let's select buy. Let's buy one of those. I guess this suggests that we only have... Oh, we can put water buffalo in there. Interesting. Let's buy a water buffalo as well. Does that mean they eat the same food? So water buffalo eat the same food as the cows. That's interesting. So, let's So, and we can see all of the cows that we've brought. So performance-wise, to answer Smock's question, we are running. So I've enabled don't know if I've got it locked at 60 FPS or not, but there was a little bit of lag when everything loaded up. So a bit like when you do a game update, everything was a little bit clunky, but after that, it's absolutely fine. Now, I am running a pretty high-end gaming system on this, and I think I can only install the license on one computer, so I can't test it on multiple computers over the weekend to tell you how it runs on different things, because I've had to install it on the one I need to do all of this stuff on. But it's running absolutely fine. I'm running it on the highest possible settings as well, so the water buffalo look pretty cool. That's quite cool. Have a look at the baby cows. That's pretty cool as well. That looks like it's just like freshly born, struggling to stand up. Baby cow. That's awesome. So, yeah, did they follow you? Do they interact at all? Can you do anything with them, I guess, is the other question. Nope. Right, let's have a look at some stuff in the store, just see what's there. So I don't know if it's going to show up actually in... I guess a bunch of you have seen the government subsidy sign is already available on ModHub. I think that's quite clever of Giants that they worked with Realismus Modeling to get that available early, probably because if they didn't, everyone and their grandkids would be trying to make the government subsidy sign. And so, yeah, I think that's quite cool. I'm guessing I would need to show that out of game. So used vehicles, only the 4 again. That's... I'm... Mr. CDP said that when I went into the game, when I started it up, it was there. So, and I've only had access since midday. So, it's clearly back at this point. So, it's intentional, obviously, that it's there, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to see it. So, I was thinking that's quite annoying because it's a nice, easy way for people to do stuff. So, it's still there. Still there. So only the 4 used vehicles. I wish they'd done more. So hopefully the vehicle sales customizing mod is going to come out soon, because I have not shown GPS yet. No. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to show everything in this first one. We'll see. So only the 4 vehicles in the used equipment. I'm hoping that the vehicle sales customizing mod gets out soon, because I really like having lots of used kit. Got the packs, and then we've got all of the things. So I'm quite liking the way the store looks. I think it looks quite fresh and quite nice. So I'm at the bottom of the store. Let's go to the top of the store. So we've got small tractors. Are there any surprises in here? I guess is the thing to have a look at. Anything that jumps out. I think it looks really fresh, and I don't know why. It just looks a lot. I think it just looks a lot better. So quite like it. So we're going to pick up one of those just to have a play with one of those. Clearly. So we'll have a little drive of one of those in a moment. So we've got a Challenger, the Valtra T Series. That's a very nice tractor. There's lots of Deutz, which is obviously very important. Does lease still work the same? Let's have a look. Lease. Yep, it looks like it's pretty much the same. So you've got base cost of what's the purchase price of this guy? 250. So it looks roughly about the same, I think. I'm not sure what the percentages were before, but I would say roughly the same. Got the 8 Series Deutz. Very nice. Got an Agro Star. That's a nice looking tractor. That is a very nice looking tractor. We're going to lease one of those to see if they've done anything nice to the audio of that. And then large tractors. Most of those look like what we expect, I guess. We've got the big class. We've got only the 1-2 track. Oh, that's a little disappointing. That's a little disappointing. But, you know. I guess I wasn't expecting to see that beastie, I don't think. I think there'll be a lot of people that are quite happy to see that. I wouldn't be surprised to see a voucher pack again. Because we had the... when did the voucher pack come out? But we had a whole pack of those, didn't we? I wouldn't be surprised to see that again. A 45 grand lorry is a good option. Well, it's not actually 45 grand once you get into it, but that's quite nice, particularly for how I'm planning to start playing. We've got the little cars. I don't know if we were expecting to see this guy. I didn't know if we were expecting to see Skoda in the game. And yeah, again, I can't see me particularly rushing to spend 40 grand on a SUV, but some people will love it. Some people will love it. Nice old branded pickup. Pretty good, I suppose. So yeah, this is going to be in a lot of start from scratches. I'm guessing I'm starting with just a pickup and a chainsaw. Or people should be starting with this if they're starting from scratch. That's what they should be starting with, the little ape. Miscellaneous, so stuff from last time. Front loaders. Yeah, not a bad selection there. Mr. Double D, shouldn't you be flying an aeroplane? I'm sure you should be flying an aeroplane at this point. Telehandlers, so we've got the Turbo Farmer. Again, this is one that I'm pretty darn excited for. And we've got the Centerbog, which... How useful this is going to be, I don't know. Okay, I thought you were busy today. Yeah, I don't know how useful this is going to be with the cab height, but somewhat interesting. Oh, we've got the big Volvo wheel loader from the premium DLC. That was fun to use before. Oh. One for Pete when he gets around to seeing this. Oh, managed to take myself out of the game. You know, electric Volvo. Pete will love that. I've also lost my chat. Let's get that back up. I lost game sound. I think I lost game sound. No, there it is. Cool. Skid steers. Only 2 skid steers. That's interesting. And somewhat surprising, I think. Forklifts. Not too fussed about that. Have we got any interesting trailers this time around? We've not got the standard class starter trailer, so I'm used to scrolling to the end for the interesting stuff. I'm guessing you're all the same, because that's where the mods should be. All the mods should be at the end, where the interesting things are. Cool, we are still live. Auger wagons, changing systems. I'm not too fussed about those. Did I miss harvesters out completely? Am I being dumb? Soil cultivation, seeding. So under seeding, we should have the Novag. Yeah, I'm assuming that Giants will be releasing. That's expensive, isn't it? Will be releasing mods on day 0. Yield improvement, haha, combines. There we go. So as part of the preview, we got the. Was I not installed? Did I not? Do I have to enable it? I've got the gold edition that comes as part of the pre-order. So we can have a look at that at some point over the weekend. What have we got in forage harvesters? See, I really wish they would include an old forage harvester as standard instead of all of the modern expensive stuff. I guess if we got a trailed one. No. Forage harvesting is just straight out expensive if you want to get into it, which is kind of sucks, I think. Forage wagons. We've got a decent cheap forage wagon. That's okay. What have we got under mowers? Do these swath? Yeah, so we've got a set of swathing mowers from the start, which is good. Balers. Oh, we've got the Govil from the start. So we've got a lot of the DLC stuff. We've got a John Deere baler wrapper. That I wasn't expecting. That's quite nice. So old harvesters. Sorry, I'm jumping. So yeah, we've got the old Massey, but it's still 100 grand. And by the time it's 130 grand with a header. Govil DLC, that's the one. I would not be surprised if on release day we don't see the old New Holland combine come along. I would not be surprised at all to see that. So we've got the standard auto bale loaders. Not a great selection of bale trailers though, just the Farm Tech and the Agroliner, which are both dolly trailers, which kind of sucks, I guess. Sorry, I'm going to jump around again. Trailers. Does that turn into... Yeah, so we can make... That's a bit of a cruddy bale trailer. Does that turn into a bale trailer? No. So it's basically dolly trailers for bale trailers. Okay. Unless... Yeah, basically dolly trailers for bale trailers. Awesome. Root crops. So we've got Amity. That's sugar beet harvester. So that's all sugar, because it says beet harvesters, obviously. And then we've got potato planters and potato harvesters. Pretty similar to last time, I guess. Vegetable stuff. So we've got again, pretty similar to the DLC vegetable stuff, except it plants spinach. No, we're going to need to wait for Mr. Loki or Mr. Akimobile to sort out auto load for us. All the wolf stuff. There's a lot of new information, Mr. Smock, and there's going to be even more as you try and consume it over the weekend. All of the specialist oxbow harvesters, all of the specialist crop stuff, grape stuff, animal stuff. Oh, there is so much to take in. So we've got the standard known and loved RA142 forage, TMR mixer. Looks like TMR is pretty much the same. I didn't see that, Mark. Yeah, pretty much the same mixers. Similar water tanks. No. We had different water barrels before, didn't we? Not a great selection of animal trailers. That's an interesting beastie. That is an interesting beastie. And it looks like it picks bales up with the spikes at the back. We will find out, Mr. Casa. It's one of the things I'll be looking at over the weekend. And then we've got... They look different. Still lizard branded. But the rest of the animal feed looks pretty similar. Yeah, Mr. Casa, I have a blank spreadsheet ready for doing all of the animal analysis. It's one of the things I want to get started on this weekend. Bunch of forestry stuff. So the things that I'm curious of in the forestry stuff is, yep, we have the winches, we have the yarders. That's the jobbies. Because I didn't get to play with those in 22. A lot of the stuff from the DLCs, which is quite cool. Seeds more expensive this time around. I think that costs more. Having just been looking at stuff for cost. But yeah, that's all pretty similar. They all look very familiar, don't they? As do they. Pallets. Yeah, you could say it reflects the current economy. I wonder if we'll be able... Yeah, they can buy potatoes now rather than... Didn't we have to put seeds into the potato seeders before? Bales. So again, we can buy hay, silage, straw, as we could previously. And then category animals. We have to buy the horse brush. That's quite interesting. That's quite interesting. And then we've got the construction menu, and the farmer menu takes you to... That's interesting. It takes you to back out to that. Right. Oh, I want to see what this whole thing sounds like compared to a new one. I quite like the exhausts as well. The exhaust flap works and stops moving. So yeah, they sound different. That's okay. So the cab's got a nice bit of motion to it as well. And if I go inside, no, my hands are not visible. See, there was in one of the pictures, the hands were visible. No hands. Look, no hands, Mum. So, let's go have a quick play with... Oh, we've got some bees and all sorts of things. I want to have a quick look at the worker system. So we have a field here. We have a tractor with a cultivator. Let's have a look. So 4 meter working width. Yep, it's decided on 4 headlands. Work headlands on. Start with up down rows. Yep, that seems sensible to me. Skip lanes. No. Okay. Is it going to start? Do we then do H? That's quite cool. Does anyone remember their console commands? I know, Kartek, if you're watching, you sent them to me earlier, and I didn't make a note of the flying one. The GS enable. Nope. Nope, I can't remember the console command to enable flight mode, so we can watch it work. Can someone go look up the one for flight mode so we can watch this thing from the air? Because that would be quite cool. GS. Yeah. GS. Player flight toggle. Yeah. Toggle. And then do I have to do it on? There we go. No. Well, that work. Player flight enabled. Ah, doesn't want to work for some reason. On. Player flight disabled. Player flight enabled. Okay, for some reason that doesn't want to work. So we'll just jump back in and zoom out a bit. But that seems to be doing a pretty cool job. No problem, Nathan. Thank you for stopping by. I am quite impressed by that. It seems to have worked out a sensible number of headlands to be able to turn in the field. And get on track reasonably well. It doesn't look like the worker is doing terrain deformation, or is it? It's not doing much terrain deformation. So while that's doing that, we have a field there. I was going to give the GPS a quick try. Mr. Quacker, how you doing? Good to see you. So we'll give GPS a quick try with this. I have no idea how that's going to work. Because I have not used it before, obviously. Oh, I have to do that to go in reverse. I need to get control set up, but we'll see how GPS sets itself up. So if I go there, does it detect the field that I want? It does. Steering assist. Number of headlands. I think we want 1, 2. Work direction, automatic. Light left set off. Show lines on. Okay. Right. You need to unfold the harvester first. Assume that's X still. Let's lower the head down. Let's get into the field. Activate lane is H. Okay. Okay. I am not disliking that at all. That's really good. So what I like about that is that was really quick to set up with having never used it before. Wonder what it's going to do at the corner. We'll find out. Very easy to use. Seems to, yes, it's a square field on a Giants map. What's it going to do when we get to the end? Okay, so it's just going to beep at me and keep going. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, it seems to have done quite a good job of picking up the. Yeah, that's the lane that I want next. It's got all the right beeps and boops that we expect from GPS. Oh, this is really well done, Giants. They've done a really good job with this as a base game feature, which obviously means it's on all platforms. So yeah, this is good. This is really good. So you should, Nathan. I think yes. What I'm hopeful of is that this algorithm is very consistent, and that when you put the same size implement in the same field, it always gives you the same course, because we don't have the way with things like Courseplay you can tell it where to start the course. I'm hoping that it's really consistent with how it generates courses, so that, yeah, you can say I used a 6 meter combine, because you can't save courses and reload them onto new vehicles like you can with GPS, for example, or with like the Smoxane with VCA. You could say that's doing a curve around the corner. That's cool. With VCA, you can say I've got a 6 meter implement, and then you can manually nudge the course around to get it to line up with the straw swath. You can't do that with this, so there is that limitation. I need to fix the steering, and it seems to have done many little bits of course to get around the corner, so we're not going to do that. There we go. That's pretty nice. It's done a pretty good job there. The worker is doing a cracking job cultivating that field as well. It'd be interesting to see if it leaves gaps on the corners like Courseplay does or not. I don't know. You've seen as much as I have so far. I'm not joking when I say this is my first look. I don't know what the 9S looks like in game. I have not seen it yet. I can show you what it looks like in the store. The 9S is big tractor, right? That's the 9R. You want the big combine, don't you? No, that's the X9. Massey is the 9S, isn't it? Is that right? Yeah. There you go. Oh, I've done it again. I've managed to switch off of the game and that's just backing up to do square corners. That's very cool. Sorry, I'm watching the worker do the headland over there. And we get the beeps as we approach the end of our run. Yeah, Giants have done a really good job with that. I need to not crash in to the worker. I'm really impressed with how they've done with that job of getting the worker to do those. He says as it goes off on a really random drive around the field. So it might have, I don't know, I didn't look if we still have arena mode in the new version of the game. I might have to have a play of that at the weekend and see how my bale stacking handles then stands up in the new game. That might be a fun one to do at some point for an hour, just to mess around with. But the GPS is really good. It's working really well. I'm going to, so settings, vehicle control. No, is it general settings? Input controls, gear shift mode, direction change, manual. That's what we want. I would have thought so, Drew. I'm assuming that we can still just hit H and the worker will take over as well. If I do, I'm just going to do this short run, and then we could probably just hit H and the worker will do its thing. Because you've still got the normal base game functionality for workers built in. So this is an add-on on top of that. It looks like it's missed a few. Or is that just doing extra? I don't know what it's doing there. Yeah, so on top of that, I assume maybe we can't because we've got a course set. We go to AI worker now. Can we reset? No, that's kept that as it is. Okay. I don't know if there's a way to just go back to using a normal worker at this point. I assume there is. I assume there's a way to reset things so that you can say, actually, let's see if we can work it out. So, if I reset that, back. See, that's kept. Yeah, that seems to keep the steering assist mode. And if I do that, and we could put it into an AI worker at that point. I don't know what that's going to do. Is that just going to take over for me? Yeah, so we can get it to take over on an AI worker. That's pretty cool. And then we could grab, there's a trailer somewhere around here, isn't there? I remember seeing. Yeah, there's some seed there. There's a seed up there. We own a trailer. Vehicles. Farm tech. I think the farm tech is a trailer, isn't it? Come on, autosave. Farm tech. Show on map. Did that highlight it? Let's play Find the Trailer. It's in one of the sheds. Because it was visible when we started. So it's in that shed. Right. Next to the boat. There we go, that's better. I'm now into spacebar changes direction. And a tractor that sounds good. I went to look for Simple Inspector then. So 9 changes the map, just the same as 22. Which is good. We've got a sell point of some sort there. That's quite cool. I also can't use the key from VCA to change my cruise control setting, can I? So we do have cruise control, but we need to dial it back. Match the combine. There we go. Yes, yeah, they can clacker. Sorry, missed that. No, I've changed it, Smok, because I don't like changing direction with up and down. I prefer using spacebar. See your beak up. I always prefer using spacebar to change direction. It's how I always have the game set up, so it feels really unnatural to me to use backwards and forwards to change direction. Backwards is brake for me. Let's go tip this in the silo, shall we? And then we'll have a look at something else. That's not a silo. That's some animals. I quite like that the starter farm is a bit more than the previous ones. There we go. Let's tip that in there. And the trailer sounds like it needs a grease. Yeah, so we get the silo HUD. I quite like the look of the silo as well. The HUD. I'm pointing at the screen. You can't see me pointing at the screen, can you? The HUD in the bottom right. That all looks quite neat. In fact, I quite like all of the HUD. F1 menu still works. Very nice. Let's go have a quick look at what we've got over here. So it looks like we've got some bees. So if I zoom in, can I click on those? No. Unless I go to a different menu, I guess. Hotspots. Yeah, so we've got some beehives. And I guess over time we'll get some honey out of said beehives. I have no idea what that is. I guess if we go into... So Shift P is the same. Shift P takes you into the construction menu. So that is a grain bin. Oh, cool. Okay. So a grain bin. Got a small solar panel. And then we've got the selection of beehives there. That is a small shed that we have to build by the looks of it. Okay. Interesting. What does that say on it? So we need wooden beams, long planks, and planks to build that. Okay. Fair enough. Ah, I've got one of our NPC characters over here. It's Pete. Pete's in the game. It's Pete. Right. So the combine is doing its thing. How did the Challenger do? If we go into the map, soil composition, growth, it did not miss any spots, which is pretty cool because I think Courseplay would have missed some with that. So, yep, I'll take that. What do we get in terms of ground deformation? This tractor. A little bit. A little bit. So there is a thing that I want to find out what happens, and I'm not sure if there's an easy way of doing it without super strength. I might save that for later. have a look. Is there a small carpentry? That's the wrong button. Shift P. In fact, while we're here, let's have a look at the construction menu, shall we? So we've got a lot of the same Herman sheds, which are all very expensive. We've got the lizard ones again as well. That's quite cool. I quite like that one. Quite like that one. So yeah, we have got some older, cheaper sheds, which is quite nice. Wow, that's a long one. There seems to be a lot more variety in the base game sheds this time, which is cool. Oh, BGAs. Very important. Very important. So we've got bakery, carpentry, a 300 grand carpentry. Anyone? We'll have a look for the buildable stuff in a bit. Okay, so what have we got down here? Bakery, preserve. So there's a little version of the carpentry. Okay. Basically a shed. That's quite cool, actually. So there's a little dairy. Yeah, I wonder where they got the idea for a little dairy from. Interesting. What a cool idea. A little grain mill. A little oil mill. I like that. I quite like that. Little tailor shop. That's cool. I like that. I like that. So we've got factories, selling points. We've got the rock crusher. See you, Monarchs. So a big rock crusher. What's that? Farmer's kiosk. Greenhouses. Rice field. Look at that at some point. Generators. I want to have a look at these at some point. So okay, so we had sheds, silos, silo extensions, constructibles. So there we go. So there's a building that has a kit and must be built. So we've got buildable sheds and houses. Containers look very similar. Pump, tools, and farmhouses. So the cheapest farmhouse we've got is 55,000. Okay, how are we doing for time? I'm planning to do maybe about 2 hours on this one, and then the animals. So I watched FSG's video on the placeable pasture system. But so we've got the one that we've got already, which is basically the small one from last time. That's kind of cool. I quite like that. So 85 grand for 35 cows. It's nice that they're not all the branded ones, actually. Yeah, I agree, Stephen. I quite like that. And small sheds is cool. It's going to make how I'm planning to start much easier. And things like this as well. Being able to put cows in for 15 grand to build a big pasture. So the same. It's weird. So why the cow one is 15, the horse one, which is essentially the same thing, is suddenly 55. That's kind of weird. That's quite a cool stable block. I really like how they've done these instead of what they did before, where they were all the branded ones. That's quite nice as well. I really like that. I really like how they've gone for that instead of all of the Herman ones. Yeah, I like that. I don't like the fact that the map moves every time I try and go across to the menu. The pigs are 20 grand. 50 grand's worth of taller fence. And okay, then so why are pigs more expensive than sheep, than cows? Looks like the pigs can eat a lot of different stuff this time. Again, this is cool. I like this. Like this. Like this stuff. This is a nice one. This is a good... This one almost looks like it came from Zalonka to me. And then these two are from 22, I think. Sheep. It's not bad, is it? Very similar. Nice little sheep pen. Chickens. See that's going to get some use at £2,000 and a bit, isn't it? That's cool as well. I really like that actually. And that one. These are good. The chicken ones are really good. That's very cool. Yeah, I like those. And then we go into the crazy big ones. Now, what I don't get, so that holds 20. That also holds 20. That also holds 20. And then that holds 360. Okay, then we've got lots of B options. And then we've got the dog. Why aren't you letting me place the dog toggle free mode B? Yes. They can be made on any map. We just had they're placeable a bit like the vineyards and the olives, by the looks of it. Wow, that didn't work well, did it? That's about as good as I throw in real life, probably. So, one of the things I want to look at, Mark, is some of the financial stuff around some of the placeable earning things, because quite a lot of them weren't great. So what's this? Is this some sort of... So we've got a chicken coop here. By the looks of it. Hello, dog. Where is the... That does look like a chicken coop, doesn't it? Or is it just decoration? There you go. Third person view. I think that might just be decoration. Yes! Typical freaking dog. I think that might just be decoration, actually. Right. We're not doing fourth wall breaks today. What would anyone like to see? I guess. Because otherwise I might take a little bit of a break and work out something more structured to do. Do you want to have a look at one of the other maps? I'm kind of flexible. Well, I'm not, because I'm old, but you know what I mean. Jeez, you are typical freaking retriever type dog. You really are. Grazing. So we have a yes, hello dog. We have a pasture that has already has grazing going on. So we could maybe do some sleeping and see what happens. So these cows and buffalo already have meadow, and our slow motion jump. Do we have somewhere to sleep? Do we have a sleep trigger? Curious what's going to happen when we sleep as to whether that regrows or they take the food. I'm assuming this is a sleep trigger. Sleep. Sleep. We'll have a look and see what happens. And then we can have a quick look at the Asian map. Right. We made money from something. Have we got any honey yet? We have. We have our first pallet of honey. Awesome. Right. So the cows have now run out of food, which is interesting. Visit. So I'm guessing that either didn't regrow or didn't grow enough to feed them. We go to soil composition, growth, grass. 'Cause it's meadow, isn't it? Not grass. And I guess we can't see meadow on there. Or it doesn't count. Can we? Should be. You know, we can't extend it, it would appear. I wonder if we go into sculpting, painting, trees, plants, meadow, change cursor shape, make it bigger. Oh no, I can't. So I can't. You can't paint into the pasture, which is interesting. Okay. So yeah, we can try fast forwarding, see if they take any food from it. I don't think they're going to. It doesn't look like this has got meadow in it to me because it was pre-placed. Because the texture's all different and it won't let me paint meadow into it. Just going to try once more with the landscaping tool, and we're going to go into, no, there's no option to go into free mode. So yeah, that's a little bit annoying. I'm assuming it's a feature of this. I'm going to have a look at animals properly, probably later today. But yeah, you can see it's not even like it's grazed up to the edge of the fence line. So I wonder if that's, but some of it looks shorter. I wonder if this is just because it's a pre-placed one and it's wasn't set to meadow when it was placed down. Yeah, we could try putting a new one down. Hey, we've just got this handy field that's been cultivated. Cows. So is there an option toggle snapping on? Yeah. Let's put that down. Do you want to customize the pasture? Yes. Let's toggle snapping on. So if we make a... It's interesting how much doing that costs. Do you want to plant meadow? Yes, we do. And then we will... let's go into the map. Let's visit. And... Hey Neil, how you doing? Then let's go get some 6-month-old cows. Do 4 of them. Buy. Okay. They need water as well. That'll be fine. We'll let them be thirsty. Let's just see what happens as we skip time, food-wise. So no meadow still. Because they can't die because it's friendly farmer, isn't it? So still no food. Looks like it probably needs to grow. So we might have to speed through the night. We'll see. Yeah. I think I might need to sleep and we'll just speed through the night and see what happens. I wonder whether as soon as it grows, they will take it as food and start eating it, which is why I'm tempted to not sleep, so that we're awake at midnight when the change happens. Why do they sound like sheep? Why are they bouncing like goats? Different. Very different. Yeah. Torch. Torch mode. And we'll see what happens when we hit midnight and whether it grows and whether they eat any of it or not. So I'm going to have a proper look at this, not doing it live when I can go a little bit slower and think a little bit, but let's see what happens as midnight approaches. Doesn't get very dark, does it? I guess that's kind of Giant's idea of night. Here comes midnight. Hopefully this will grow. So, no. Yes. That grew. They took food. So, I guess a more in-depth question is at what point is it that if you fill it to capacity, when it's growing, they will eat everything that's in there, and that kind of thing? Because as you expand the pasture, the capacity grows. So at the moment, it can hold 17. If we fill it with 17, is it that every growth period, the amount that it grows is enough to feed the cows for a month or whatever? It does. It very much needs a deep dive. And that's quite a nice sky in the morning. But they do indeed graze. And it looks like they've taken roughly the amount that grew. But yeah. Quacker is more one of those things that you have to play with because some of the stuff is not available in XML. like how much they eat. And it's also not easy to work out in XML how much grass grows in a pasture when you place it versus how many animals can fit in. Unless you're really, really, really clever. So, yeah, it's that kind of thing's much easier to test in game. Generally. So the things that I am planning to be doing over the weekend are my animal videos, looking at how much do animals eat and that kind of thing. That wasn't my expectation. Oh yeah, because I was in third person view before. Yeah, how much do animals eat? Therefore, how profitable are they? You know, what do they eat? How much do they produce? That kind of thing. Because I think that'll be interesting for people. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Actually, no, we're going to have a look at the Asia map very briefly, and then I'm going to have a little bit of a break, and I might then start producing some normal content. I'm so kind of overwhelmed by having early access and seeing all of the stuff that's already available and trying to think, what do I do? What do I make? Yeah. So I sort of have a list, but I actually don't know how to tackle going through that list. So, and I think probably the thing to do is ignore what everyone else has done and just do my own thing. In that everyone else will be doing stuff anyway. So, yeah. Thank you, Mark. It's down to you guys. It's not down to me. It's down to you guys supporting the channel. So this time we start with the Agco again, the ape, a cedar, the rice harvester, interestingly, and planter, a truck, combine. I wonder if we start with a rice paddy. Soil composition, farmland. There's all that corner. So I wonder if, let's jump in the beast and oh, that's awesome. I can't even tell which way I'm going in relation to the farm. The wrong way. I love this thing. I love this thing. That is amazing. So yeah, we've got a full rice set up on this one from the beginning. And that's ready to harvest. Should we? I assume. And you know what they say about assumption. You make an arse out of you an umption. Let's do a little bit of rice harvesting, shall we? Hey, there's another 2-track. It's not quite the same thing, is it? Did turn on. Oh. That sort of works. Interesting. I'm going to back out. I'm going to back out. I've noticed a change. I've noticed a significant change. Giants have changed how they have implemented tracked vehicles. Do you notice the difference? Tracked vehicle nerds. Tracked vehicle nerds, are you noticing the difference? We can do proper tracked vehicles in FS25. That is not something that they mentioned. It's really interesting to see if they've changed the X amount. I can't remember the name for this. Oh. But that is freaking cool. That is very cool. Neutral turns. That's the jobby. That is very, very cool. I should watch where I'm going. Yep, good point, Quacker. Oh, there's only one two-track tractor in the game, but let's can we do? Oh, but this won't do a neutral turn. But the fact that it's possible says that they've implemented it. Because I guess it depends how the gearing works in different vehicles and things. Because these tractors might not be capable of neutral turns. I don't know. But this is. Because I'm only pressing down the D key. I'm not pressing forwards. And that's got one track going forwards and one track going backwards. So... and it's entirely possible that the Fendt tractor is just a straight port from FS25, and it hasn't been updated. And as Smock said, it's also entirely possible that the big tractors aren't capable of doing neutral turns like this, because it depends on the track mechanism probably as to whether they're capable of doing it. Because it's very bad for some types of transmission, I believe, to do a neutral turn. So, yeah. But that is a very, very cool addition to the game. Doing tracks properly instead of them just being tracks laid over four-wheel drive tractors with tight steering is... yeah, what about a skid steer? Let's try it as skid steer. Yep. Skid steer's neutral turn. That is so cool. That is going to make doing things with bales, stacking things, so good. This could be my favourite in-game trick. Don't think we have any more. The U-neutral turn? U-neutral turn. I assume it'll work exactly the same with a wheel, because all I'm doing is turning. So it'll be exactly the same. You just don't press throttle, you just turn. I think there's a ton of hidden little Easter eggs that they haven't mentioned. This is a good one. This is a good one. That is so cool. You're a bad influence, you lot. I doubt it. Not really Quacker, because that was kind of just, that was two-wheel drive, wasn't it? And I think that still did the same thing. You still had to be moving forwards and backwards for it to steer. So the difference with this is I'm not pressing forwards or backwards. I'm just pressing steer. The self-propelled Bailey, you had to be moving forwards or backwards. This is not, I'm just pressing the steer key. And no, you can't dig yourself into the ground. Have we got any tracked forestry kit? Haha. It's a completely different level of controlling tracks. Yeah, yeah, so these were neutral turn as well. Proper excavator control. That's very cool. Yeah, so the baler. It's a round baler, wasn't it? No, they might have changed it now. They might have changed it. Yeah, they've changed it now because they've changed the control system. This works the same way now as well. But I'm pretty sure before you had to be moving forwards or backwards to do this in 22. Whereas now you don't. Now you can do the same thing, you can just turn. Which I suspect is how it's supposed to be. Oh, that is such a cool addition. As someone who likes tracked vehicles. There will be many uses of tracked vehicles in the future. That Volvo did sound good, didn't it? Yeah, they've got the sound of tracks down pretty well. How's the... Yeah. Keyboard control is still okay. Awesome. Well, I think that is a darn good note to end on. Because then I can go and make a little YouTube short about the cool thing that I found. So, Scooter, hello, welcome. As I finish, I just want to say thank you for everyone that turned up. Thank you to everyone that enabled me to get early access, because it's thanks to the folks that used my partner code that let this happen. And there will be much more over the weekend as I can produce things and do things. Not sure what the plan is for stream wise beyond potentially a multiplayer stream with some of the guys from the farming agency. We have a G Portal server ready and waiting, so I think we're going to attempt multiplayer at some point over the weekend. But beyond that, some of the stuff will be in the background as I'm testing stuff, but I'll be trying to get videos out as well. So I'm going to be starting a Let's Play later, and there will be at least one more stream for some of you later. So yeah, appreciate you all stopping by, and thanks all.